shine. I'm ready to shine, yeah. I'm ready to shine. I'm ready to shine, yeah. My niggas ain't on their own, so you know we here to...
Yo, welcome back to the channel. 2026, we here, the new season. I know I'm late. We gonna go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I'm late. I'm super late. The next episode, I'm pretty sure it's coming out, this Sunday? Metal Sunday versus Perfect Sale. I tried to be spoiler free, but then turned my YouTube notifications off for their battle. So, yeah, that ain't work out. But, we here. I'm not 100%, probably like 90%. Whatever illness I had, whoop my ass. You feel me? But, I'm glad to be back. I hope y'all doing well. I know y'all ain't wait on me. I know y'all there. Nobody in Thief Mafia waited on your boy Phantom to react to this fight. Y'all probably thought I wasn't coming back. Well, I'm back. And we gonna get right into this thing, bro. Ichigo versus Yusuke. We ain't doing no predictions right now. Even though technically it doesn't matter. I'm going for my boy Ichigo. You feel me? I feel like he should have beat Naruto. And they hold him. But we gonna see why Yusuke can bang with him in this death battle. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. It's been so long, I forgot. Y'all make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss anything I upload. And yes, we will be back on regular schedule. I will be here Sunday or next Sunday whenever the new battle drops. I will be back on schedule. Your boy does have a new job that is 12 hours. So I will be tired. But I'll make time for y'all because I love y'all. Even though y'all ain't love me enough to be patient. On God, I am so happy to be back, y'all. I miss this. I miss y'all. I just told Bay the other day, man, I miss Thief Mafia, bro. I wonder how they doing. What's going on with them? Y'all let me know how y'all been down in the comments. How y'all year been, bro? We ain't got to just talk about the death battle. Let me know how y'all been. You feel me? If you want to. If you don't, let's get it. Let's go. Yep. Same old headphones. We still ain't upgraded. Hey, they still hanging in there. So we not gonna switch up on them. You feel me? Let's get into it.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Man, don't show my goat dying. That's the first thing y'all did open up the new season.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great, till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds
I
in
know
the air.
what Ichigo can do,
speed
bro.
boosting
You feel
skills
me?
like Shunpo, he can virtually
Even though
fly.
I haven't watched
Say
Bleach
goodbye
entirely.
the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch
But
money.
Yusuke,
and hello to the
I don't
town's
know.
new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime, Chad, and Uryu. Plus Rukia, it was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all sword beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande, and these aren't fakes.
Is Yusuke gonna box him? Yusuke doesn't use weapons, right? He just throw hands. So
Lower than light lasers, guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole friggin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting
That's a
clamped,
top
but
fight.
as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was
Top
all
three
he
fight.
needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai. And it
I know it's a death battle. I know, you know what I'm saying? They gave they little analysis or whatever. Do y'all really believe that Aizen can beat Madara? I just had to ask that, bro. Like, who do you have, bro? Aizen, Madara. That I don't know. I really don't know, bro. Aizen Cole, Madara Cole.
his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yhwach.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yhwach's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all 3 realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that ripped through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
Oh, wow. Great ending. Great ending.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do
Yusuke,
with their
please
life.
show me
However,
what you
that
got,
was hardly
bro.
a problem for
I
juvenile
don't believe in
delinquent
you.
Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ups are.
Now, the fact even Boomstick said that, you feel me? Just the terminology, bro. I respect that. He a real one. You gotta respect the ones out here using no weapons but throwing hands. I love a protagonist. They just throw hands, bruh. Y'all know I love Goku. But I'm still Team Ichigo for now.
Be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stuff it! I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him, so what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun! At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually, he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears, Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, ruin his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Kabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons.
Based off that statement, burning through his own life force. And we know what happened with Ichigo. He used his final move. Do y'all think it's gonna end in a draw? Why am I'm asking y'all like y'all ain't seen this already. See,
And demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough
What?
to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them, to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Raizen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
I'm gonna say this right now. I may have made a mistake. I slept on him. I didn't know he was this strong. This might be a way closer fight than I thought it was gonna be. You feel me? I'm sticking with Ichigo. But if Yusuke win this, It is what it is. I'm not counting it as an L. Y'all already know the results anyway. Respect to him. If he get this dub, bruh, they gotta let Ichigo fight somebody weak, man. I need him to at least get one dub on the show.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
What?
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he
ain't
found
want to be
his happy
Sasuke so
ending.
bad.
But I wouldn't piss him off
I
if
know
you
that's
can
gonna
avoid
make some of
it.
y'all
Get him
mad.
in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Oh, man. Come on, Ichigo.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it! Spirit guide! Getsuga! Tensho!
You can't handle him off the hands, bruh.
No match! Hollow. Chump change. Reckless idiot! What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah. Getsuga! Yujisho! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
What? Not the Broly.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it, like old times.
On! Kai! Tensa! Sangetsu!
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
It's not Yusuke's deck. What?
Give me a freaking break. See you on the other side.
You think the afterlife offers freaking
Great fight,
fire miles?
great fight.
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's
Tactics.
that are similar to
Go to
Ryatsu.
Yusuke.
So Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
And all those swords. defense. He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yhwach that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kinda both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with
It's a
advantages
tie?
on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving
Well,
only the
I mean, I
biggest
would've gave it to
winning
Yusuke, to
factor,
be
which
honest.
could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yhwach, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yhwach's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yhwach was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least
Oh, well,
29
dang.
pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yhwach in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we
Which I
see it,
love.
even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichi goes.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, yo, I got spoiled. I would have been so lit, bruh. Y'all know I love Dragon Ball.
Subscribe and join as a member to
Peep, it's time for the get back. It's time for the get back for when Trunks lost. Cell, he gotta get it. He gotta get it back in blood, oil, whatever you want to call it. Metasonic better not beat Cell, bruh. Death Battle. That was a great way to start it. Great way to start the new season. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with the outcome. I feel like some say Yusuke should win. I told y'all from the beginning I was with Ichigo. He had to get a dub anyway. No, they ain't just throwing him a dub. Don't say that. Don't say that. He earned it. I mean, you heard what they said, bro. He more powerful. Tactics, they even. Speed. He better than him. I just never really heard anybody brag about Yusuke being one of the top bangers when it comes to anime. They say he an asshole and he funny, but they never put respect on him actually being too strong. So it was a good matchup. Both of them got attitude problems and whatever, but I don't really see how Yusuke could beat him. It was a good fight. I never knew he had those feats, but nah. I told y'all in the intro, I spoiled myself. I did not turn my notifications off. So I seen when they dropped the little preview analysis of the fighters or whatever. So I still would do the poll. Be on the lookout after the video. Make sure you vote. Let me know who you think will win and why. I will be here for the next fight. Guaranteed. I will be here. I will be on time. That's all I got for y'all boys today. I really missed y'all. happy to be back. And I will be more consistent. I was sick, bro. That's my excuse. Y'all gotta let that slide. Let it slide, you feel me? Y'all be good. Stay safe. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.